Hello, everyone. So, a topic that's coming up a bit lately is the idea of an opportunity fund. And I like to pair it with really an opportunity emergency fund, or sometimes what I like to call it is a certainty fund. And really, it's completely separate from our investment side. And I think a lot of times people try to compare the returns of that certainty asset with investments. And it's a totally different type of asset that does a couple of things for us. So, when paired with those investments that we're talking about, which are typically not guaranteed, they're more of a roller coaster that moves through time. And that roller coaster effect occurs because of black swan events that come along. And you'll hear a lot of times people will say, well, my investment would have worked out perfect if it hadn't been for fill in the blank, right? COVID, 9/11, whatever it is, we don't know what that actual event's going to be, but we can be pretty sure those black swan events are going to continue to cycle in our life into the future just like they have from the past. And so that opportunity slash emergency slash certainty fund actually allows us to get through those times with our investments. It allows us to get through without having to lose the investment completely, which is what happens to a lot of people when all they have is the investment side without the certainty asset. And so really what we need to look at is what's the best certainty asset? Those things that are liquid, those things that are pretty certain, guaranteed, right? And so those assets typically fall into a lesser return in most people's mind, but I think the full analysis needs to happen. We have a tool, the funding calculator, that I use a lot in the Truth Concept software to help analyze that and see where is the best place to go, because there's a lot of misinformation in the financial world around returns and other pieces, because a lot of times the comparisons are gross returns to net returns and other pieces. So we need a level playing field, and the funding calculator helps us to be able to determine what is the best return, and maybe we get some additional benefits. But in paired with that opportunity idea, the nice thing about having that type of certainty fund is a place to store cash between investments. I think a lot of times people are forced into a scenario where, this investment came to a close, so I need a place to put this money. Let's go to another investment. And that investment may not fit the individual, or it may not be the right time from the standpoint of a good buy. So that opportunity fund, that certainty fund allows us to have a holding tank for when opportunities come along. We have a place to pull that money, use it in other places, and have some certainty around it when the roller coaster happens. Because if you went to an amusement park with your kids or grandkids and they wanted to ride that roller coaster with all its ups and downs, you're going to make sure that the seatbelt is fastened. That's what that certainty asset does. It gets us through those times so that we can enjoy the good parts of the investment without having the gamble or severe risk of the downside of those that we know are going to occur. So the certainty asset is a completely different type of asset that needs to be liquid, and it needs to be guaranteed.